Well, New York State is now pushing back against President Trump's tariffs as much higher import taxes will soon go into effect. We're going to help you try to make sense of a ton of tariff news in just a moment. But first, what the state is actually doing here. Governor Kathy Hochul has put out this memo to the leaders of all state agencies, directing them to start compiling data on the effects of these tariffs, looking at the impact on people who live in this state, also the impact on small businesses, farmers, the construction industry, tourism, etc. Now, that is all due to the governor's office by the end of September. Then we will all get to see that full report at the end of October. President Trump arguing, though, that the tariffs are helping the U.S. economy.
We have tariffs pouring in at levels that we have never seen before, and they've only just started. That's really a small portion, but they'll really start in about another week. And then in about a month, they'll come in at levels that are extremely strong. And our country's making a lot of money.
Here's why tariff revenue will really increase over the next few weeks. Starting August 1st, the president says he'll put in place a 35% tariff on goods from Canada with some possible exceptions, along with 30% import taxes on items from Mexico and the European Union. There are other countries facing tariffs as well, but these are our three biggest trading partners, so it's very significant. Dr. Scott Ling is a clinical assistant professor of finance at UB School of Management, and he joins me live here tonight. We appreciate you coming back in. We've called on you several times to help us understand all of this. Let me begin there with the significance of the news we got on Thursday about Canada, and then over the weekend, Mexico and the European Union. These are significant sort of steps, kind of stepping it up, right?
Yes, these are big increases in terms of the tariff policy from President Trump, going to 30% for some of our top trading partners, 35% for Canada just north of the border. What is nice and a little reassuring is most market participants are hoping it's the same song and dance we've seen before, where big number gets imposed right at the beginning of the negotiation tactics, and then as we get nearer to the deadline, hopefully a lot of these tariff threats start to kind of say, all right, we'll move the deadline 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, but some of them could very much go into effect in the meantime. A lot of the goods are hopefully going to be exempt that are a part of the United States, Mexico, Canada agreement, the trade deal that President Trump negotiated in his own first term. So as always, the details of the trade policy are going to be a bit difficult to untangle until we get nearer to the deadline. I came prepared with three products that I know are probably going to see price increases moving forward. With all of this tariff news, one of the most shocking ones is there's a new 21% tariff on tomatoes, particularly from Mexico. So we're going to probably start to see tomato prices go up in the supermarket, pizza sauces, pasta sauces. And then the fear of the tariffs, not from our closest trading partners, but from Brazil. And so Brazil is actually one of the primary suppliers of orange juice and oranges. And so futures on oranges increased 40% just this week with the news of tariffs of 50% on Brazilian goods. And then lastly, coffee, also a major Brazilian export. So investors are more spooked by the tariff significant increases in these other trading partners, with investors hoping possibly the close trading partners will kind of get figured out.
Yeah, even though just a couple of days away from that August 1st date that you should probably have circled on the calendar. We heard President Trump there saying that the country is now bringing in a lot of revenue from tariffs. That is expected to go up a lot as we get to August 1st, right? Thus far, we haven't had nearly the level of tariff that he's talking about doing in the future.
Right. Naturally, as the rates kind of go up, we're going to see more revenue from the tariffs naturally. However, there's just the downside of if tariffs go up, maybe there's not as much demand in the United States. And so actually, revenues don't increase as much as maybe he hopes if there's less importing in general due to the higher tariff rates. So it's going to be, a little bit of time to see which effect dominates. Again, there's the hope that the United States picks up the slack and starts to bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States.
Then there's no tariff.
Exactly. And generate taxable revenues from job employment as well from the factories coming on shores. But naturally, that's very difficult to suddenly move operations to the United States again.
I have less than a minute left, but I want to end by asking you, do we know at this point, based on the tariff policy thus far, has most of the tariff revenue come from essentially raising prices, or have manufacturers and then overseas manufacturers absorb most of it?
I think your intuition is completely spot on, mostly through the price increases. These suppliers have no real reason to eat the costs, and why would you as a business? You're trying to make money. And so those expenses increases are going to be pushed onto the customers, and we're starting to see that in the stores as early as, the earliest trade deals were starting to be negotiated. So unfortunately, yes, most of it is coming just through price increases. It's essentially a tax on the American consumer. Again, maybe, hopefully the jobs will come back, but that still remains to be seen.
And usually a longer term thing. UB professor Dr. Scott Ling, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Thanks.